matter is, there's absolutely no excuse for tolerating such language.
I don't understand why America tolerates this. I don't understand why President Trump tolerates this. Because ultimately it's like Pakistan seems to think they can say what they want.
We are not going to surrender to nuclear blackmail. This gentleman has a habit of saying things to the diaspora in Pakistan.
It was the farewell dinner for US Central Command CENTCOM Commander Michael Kurilla, and Pak Military Chief Asim Munir was invited for this event. He used this platform to make certain very disparaging remarks against India. Two things stand out. One, that if Pakistan goes down, it will take down half the world with it, which is very clearly a nuclear threat. And the second thing, he said that there can be 10 missiles used to target India's dams. So obviously the entire rhetoric, the entire speech was literally spewing venom against India. Couple of questions arise. Why was Asim Munir given this platform? In fact, listen to this soundbite from a former Pentagon official who's actually questioning, why didn't the generals walk out? Why didn't anyone raise objection to these comments? First, let's listen in.
The message which the United States is sending is that we are not a worthy ally. Under Donald Trump in his second term, the United States has become Canada on steroids. The fact of the matter is, there is absolutely no excuse for tolerating such language, such threats, such nuclear rogue behavior, especially on American soil. You know, within 30 minutes of when Asim Munir made those comments, he should have been ushered out, taken to Tampa International Airport, and flown out of the United States to the Bahamas, to Cuba, anywhere, and the Pakistanis could pick him up from there. Well, first of all, it's becoming increasingly hard not to believe that Donald Trump has been bribed in order to turn such a blind eye to Pakistan. Whether that's come from Turkey, whether that's come from Qatar, whether that's come from Pakistan itself is unclear. But there are few other explanations to explain why Donald Trump has become so effusive to Pakistan, especially after the Pahalgam massacre.
So sorry, not okay. Asim Munir cannot get away with these comments. This was a black tie dinner, so there were no mics and phones allowed, and we are therefore quoting from publications that have again reported this. One of them is The Print, which has reported the speech. Now, we don't have the exact transcript here, but yes, MEA has now issued a statement, and MEA says nuclear saber rattling is Pakistan's stock in trade. Indian Navy has also responded. Let's listen into that.
They have worked out amongst three services. This time, if Pakistan dare take any action, and Pakistan knows it, what we are going to do.
Well, beyond this, we have strong reactions coming from neutral observers, from authors, commentators. Here's one of them. Listen into what he says about Asim Munir and his intentions.
Well, I think Washington should have reacted much stronger than it did. The fact that it was chosen, Florida, US soil, as you rightly observe, to me, that's a calculated insult by the Pakistani Army Chief. He chose the United States. Now, I don't understand why America tolerates this. I don't understand why President Trump tolerates this, because ultimately it's like Pakistan seems to think they can say what they want on such an issue in particular, and they can't, and particularly not on American soil. You know, if he said it in Pakistan, no one would be too surprised, because that's what they say anyway. But to come to the US, so he should have been, in my opinion, essentially, I'd like to see the United States break off diplomatic relations with Pakistan until it changes its ways and starts to behave like a civilized country.
And finally, Member of Parliament Shashi Tharoor has commented on this, saying the gentleman has a habit of making irresponsible statements. India cannot be arm twisted by these tactics.
I think the ministry has given a fitting reply. As they said, nuclear saber rattling is the stock in trade of Pakistan. We are not going to surrender to nuclear blackmail. This gentleman has a habit of saying things to the diaspora in Pakistan which apparently are intended to boost his position. I think India knows how to handle these things actually in the air and on the ground. I'm not too worried. Let him say what he wants.
However, the point that is to be made here is Asim Munir has decided to make these statements at a time when he probably gauged that India-US relations are currently strained. So the man wanted to capitalize on that moment. Sorry, not okay. It's not as if we are rattled by these comments. We are also questioning that why was this man given such a platform? Just like the other senior US officials who you heard, one of them clearly stating that he should not even be given a visa to the United States. He is Osama bin Laden in uniform. So that's the view among experts in US as well. Why was he allowed to speak? And let's then also wait for the full transcript from the full statement from Pakistan as to what exactly he said. Mr. Munir is capable of completely disowning whatever was stated there, but yes, we now have MEA on record citing that particular statement as saying that this sort of nuclear threat issued to India in the United States, sorry, not okay.